Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Money, jobs, and race. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Yesterday, President Obama echoed a familiar theme about the American economy.
The average CEO has gotten a raise of nearly 40% since 2009. The average American earns less than he or she did in 1999. This growing inequality, not just of result, inequality of opportunity. This growing inequality, it's not just morally wrong, it's bad economics.
Since Mr. Obama has been president, more than $6 trillion have been added to the national debt. Much of that spent by the feds trying to redistribute income. Welfare payments have exploded. Obamacare costs a fortune. And things like food stamps and disability are at record levels. It's clear that President Obama wants the federal government to run the economy, and that has been a disaster. Economic growth in this country is about 2%. That's why wages aren't rising. Workers make more money when there is a demand for their services. For example, my salary has gone up because other people would like to hire me. But with high unemployment and companies afraid to expand because of high taxation, there's little incentive for businesses to pay workers more. President Obama does not seem to understand that. And then there is the cultural problem. Even if there were plenty of jobs, most employers are not going to hire people who can't read well and speak proper English. Right now, the unemployment rate among black males ages 16 and 19, 57%, 57%. It's 25% for white males that age. Overall black unemployment, 14%. White unemployment, 6.6. The reason? In many poor neighborhoods, there's chaos, violence, and little discipline in the public schools. Kids aren't learning. Also, with the African-American out-of-wedlock birth rate at 73%, many young blacks are unsupervised and prone to imitate bad behavior, like what Lil Wayne puts out.
Pop a lot of pain pill, about to put rims on my skateboard wheel, yeah. Beat that up like Emmett Till, yeah.
DJ Smells exclusive.
Two cell phones ringing at the same time. That's your hoe, calling from two different phones.
Southern Smoke.
Tell that bitch leave me alone. See you go wrong, and I alone.
Now, after hearing that piece of garbage, Mountain Dew pulled a multi-million-dollar endorsement deal the company had with Lil Wayne. Presto. Guess who intervenes? Does the name Al Sharpton ring a bell? His National Action Network held a meeting with Mountain Dew and the family of Emmett Till, who were outraged by that stupid rap. And by the way, if you want to know what happened to Emmett, read Killing Kennedy. We vividly examine why he was murdered. Anyway, in a statement, Sharpton said, quote, National Action Network doesn't want the end result to be the penalization of artists, although they clearly need to be corrected, unquote. Well, that's kind of holistic, isn't it? And here's a shocker. The parent company of Lil Wayne, Cash Money Content, which markets vile stuff that hurts children, is a partner in distributing Sharpton's upcoming book. That's right. Al Sharpton is in business with people who put out entertainment harmful to children. Sharpton's spokesperson says it's not Al who made that deal, it's Massenburg Media, his publisher. That's bogus. Every author, and I am one, has control over who he or she does business with. The fact is, Al Sharpton is allowing a company that harms black children to distribute his book. Talking Points will make this point again. The civil rights industry not addressing the core reason why many African Americans are not succeeding in the marketplace. Because of that, young blacks continue to be at risk and have enormous obstacles to overcome. And that's a memo. Can be downloaded on foxnews.com and BillO'Reilly.com. Now for the top story reaction. Joining us from Orlando, Florida, Paul Porter, former executive for the Black Entertainment Television Network and currently on the advisory board of the Parents Television Council. Mr. Porter, am I making any mistakes here?
No, you're spot on. Bingo. You got it right.
Let's start with the civil rights industry. And it is an industry. There's big money in stake there. They don't seem to object to Lil Wayne and to the other people who are marketing their stuff to young let's say it's not just blacks, because whites buy this stuff too, but young people. All right, they're marketing this to young people. There's no outcry that I can see over this at all. Have you heard anything about it?
Oh, look, Bill, there's a lot of outcry, but the voices, it's like a silent majority. You keep hearing and seeing the same people and really not getting the current of what's going on. You know, the situation with Reverend Sharpton signing with, you know, Cash Money, well, which is Cash Content, is the publishing arm. I had to deal with that directly when Lil Wayne lost the deal. I was negotiating with Pepsi, a guy, Frank Cooper, Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer at Pepsi, for weeks, basically, and a couple of days before that, and Reverend Sharpton got involved after the Wayne thing was really ended. The statement was out, the video was pulled, and, you know, it happens, but
well, why did he get involved? Why did Sharpton get involved with it?
Because it's great press, and maybe he thought he could do something. But there's also money exchange. A lot of these organizations, they contribute to nonprofits. Nonprofits are business. And you know, Pepsi had a relationship with them. I learned that from the senior vice president. I thought we were going to negotiate some real outreach and some literacy, but it didn't happen that way. And after I learned about Reverend Sharpton signing with Cash Money, I couldn't make that up. I mean, Lil Wayne, if you go to raprehab.com, there's an open letter from Carl Redding, who was with Reverend Sharpton for 9 years, the chief of staff, and he talks about receiving blood money. And, you know, there's a lot of conflict in the black community. Reverend Sharpton's done a lot of great things, but things like this is troubling. It's sort of scary, because Cash Money records are one of the worst. But this affects the children, and it always has. Parents Television Council, we did a study in 2008, the Rap on Rap. The images, the content is just killing these kids. And as a young black man, music had more balance for me. I learned a lot of things because my father wasn't in the home.
Absolutely,
it's
the Motown
important.
stuff. I just saw the play Motown. It was uplifting stuff, and it was positive. But I'm a little confused. I want to be very clear, though. Is Al Sharpton a friend of Lil Wayne? Does he like Lil Wayne? Is he trying to do something good for Lil Wayne?
Well, you can YouTube the video where Lil Wayne disses Reverend Sharpton in 2008 for 6 minutes, makes a record. And that's not the person I would have signed with, but I don't know the business deal.
All right.
I don't know the business deal.
But I don't know why Sharpton would inject himself if Mountain Dew wants to get rid of Lil Wayne because of this terrible rap. All right. Why would Sharpton insert himself into that? What was the reason?
Maybe he thought he could handle it.
All right. You don't know what the reason is, though? There wasn't a defined reason why Sharpton shows up for this?
Well, normally when organizations deal with big companies with Pepsi, there's contributions that happen to organizations.
No, I understand that, but why would do you think Sharpton was in there trying to get money?
No, but look, a month and a half after it happened, he announced signing with Cash Money. So I can't tell what goes on behind the scenes.
Did Sharpton do any good for Lil Wayne? Did he do any good for the man?
No, well, I haven't heard a word from Pepsi since that time. And I did everything to try to put these parties together.
All right, you wanted at that time for Pepsi and Mountain Dew as a subsidiary of Pepsi to keep Lil Wayne on the payroll. That's what you were trying to do.
No. That was their decision. I advised Frank Cooper to pull the Mountain Dew spot, have Wayne make an apology, and they decided not to go with Lil Wayne further on.
So you wanted Lil Wayne out of there. You wanted him to apologize. And then all of a sudden, Sharpton comes in to do what? What did he do?
Well, I was told by the executive, Frank Cooper at Pepsi, that Reverend Sharpton had hooked up with the Emmett Till, the foundation, Mamie T. Mowgli Foundation, and he was going to take charge of the situation. But since that time, Erica Taylor, who's in charge of that organization, is upset at Reverend Sharpton. Reverend Sharpton needs to
let's just say it's unclear. I think this would be fair. You tell me if it's not. It's unclear why Al Sharpton would inject himself in there, but after he did, a month and a half later, so you say, he got this distribution deal from Lil Wayne's parent company. All right, so that's on the record. I want to say I haven't read Sharpton's book, but his spokesperson, who I know, tells me that his book is critical of Lil Wayne. We will see. Mr. Porter, thanks very much.
It might be.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you.
Next on the rundown, a reaction.